Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Unity3D tutorial. And this one I'll be covering the animation toolset that's built into Unity. So if you want to animate maybe a simple object, maybe like doors opening or a box moving or something very simple that doesn't really work too well with the bone structure, the Unity animation tool is a very simple and easy tool to use, and it's very effective. So, I mean, it doesn't have all the features that you may want it to have, like setting up a weight system or IK or anything like that, but it's very, very basic and easy for anyone to use. And you can add different, you can add key bindings to it and different events. So if you're creating like cutscenes and stuff, this is a very good tool for doing that. So in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you just how to animate a simple object. If you wanted to animate something more advanced, you can animate anything that you import, but I just want to let you guys know that you want to actually separate the object itself for the pieces you want to animate. So if we use this chest, for example, I'd want to make this separate, and this separate, so it's all detached. It can still be exported as one model, but when you go to export, don't attach each different object, just leave them as their own separate object. Maybe I can go over that in the future to make more sense of it for people who are more new to maybe 3D modeling programs and exporting in a certain way. But for now, we're just going to keep the tutorial basic on just doing simple animations. So I'm just going to create a simple cube here, and we'll resize it real quick and drop it down. Somewhere over here. That's a little too small. We'll make it a little bit bigger just so we can see it easier. And I'll go and rename this to something like animated box. Now from here, we actually want to create a new folder as well for storing our animations. Because normally when we import an object and it has animations, it would just be, saved right onto the object itself. But since we are creating separate animations for this, we actually need it's better to just create a separate folder. And you could also, if you wanted to, create subfolders for each different animated object you have in the scene. Or if you're creating an animation for an object that you actually imported, like if it was this one, you could actually just, save the animation within here, which would make it a lot easier. But for now, we'll just leave it in the animations. So from here, what we want to do is go Window and Animation. And this is the animation window that Unity uses for setting up all your different animations and whatnot. So what we can do is actually hit record, and it's going to ask us to save this specific animation. So we can just call this box animation 1, which is just a generic name. You could do, if it was like an open animation, box animation open, or closed, or moving, whatever, and whatnot. So from here, a couple of the controls, left click and drag. You can just move this around the timeline. And if we actually want to animate our object, all you have to do is click this red button right here, but it's not going to do anything until you actually move the object. So wherever I drop it is going to be the first keyframe. And so maybe I want to set it on the ground for the first one. And then, okay, yeah, we can click and drag to maybe here. And it'll automatically set a keyframe. You don't have to press anything or do anything for that. You can go here, move it down, move it over here. So we can do a little like roller coaster type thing. Now, if you want to know, let's see. So yeah, it does the animation that we just set for it. But let's say you wanted to actually go in and edit this a little bit more. Well, you can drag this to wherever you want in the scene and actually adjust it. And it'll adjust the curve to work with everything. So it's kind of like a pathfinding style thing if you want to think of animation in that way. But yeah, we can set a couple more here. Maybe we'll make it a little bit crazy and move it over here at the beginning. So yeah, now we should have our animation all set up. And when we have that all set up and done, you can just unclick from there. You can just preview it if you want. And then we can actually go in game and actually see how this animates. So we can see the box moving, but we see that it stops there. maybe we don't want the box to, or we want to actually replay the animation or wait for the animation. So once we added that animation, it actually added a different component, which was the animation one. So we can uncheck play automatically and it'll just make it so the box sits there and does nothing. And we can actually add our own code to this. So let's see. We could actually just create a new script. Probably something that I won't keep in here, but just for, testing. So we'll just call this box test for now. Add component scripts, and we can just click on box test. Double click on that to bring up our mono-develop box test, and in here we can do a simple if input dot get key down. So if we press our key down, we'll activate something. So hopefully I don't have anything key bound to this. And this is the code we're going to be using for actually, doing the animation itself. So we're going to want the name of the actual animation. Now, this will only make it so the animation plays once, but I'm sure you can change it to something different if you want it to constantly loop or whatnot. But I just want to play my animation just once. So now what we'll do is we'll go to our animations, and if you need the name of the actual animation, you can just click it and hit Control-C, copy it over, and we can actually paste it into here. So when we press the 0 key, it will play this animation once, hopefully. So we'll hit Control-S to save that and go into game. Now if you see, our box is not doing anything right now. It's just sitting there. It didn't do its animation because we decided not to play it right away. But if I go and I press the 0 key, it will animate. And I believe it might have physics when it moves like that too. So if you guys actually wanted to create maybe a mini game where boxes are flying around all over the place and you have to run through and dodge all the different boxes, and maybe if you get hit by one, it pushes you off a ledge and kills you or something like that. Something simple. Or if you just want to do different styles of animation. Like for this, back in the past, I used code for animating that. But if I actually wanted to use animation, that would actually work out better and probably save me some FPS and stuff. But yeah, that's the basics of animation, and I will hopefully cover some more in the future. Hopefully this helps you guys out and you can make some cool animations for your games.